Hello, good evening, everybody. This is Susie from the Speckled Loon. Let me know if you can hear me. I came on just a minute early so I could just double check all my settings, make sure that we are live on Facebook and YouTube. I'm just going to check my phone here real quick to make sure. I hope everybody's having a great evening. We had a little relief from the heat today. Oh, I see I'm good on Facebook. I am going to turn down that and then just have it here so I can see comments if need be. Um, this is Susie from the Speckled Loon. Good evening, everybody. It is July 27th, 2023. We are going to do a quick preview tonight of some of our fall and holiday show items. We're going to talk a little bit about the next edition of our subscription box. Hi, Janet. And when we do that, I'm going to give you not a sneak peek of what's in the box so much, but we're going to talk about the bonuses that I'm going to be giving out. The contents of the box, we try to keep a surprise for everybody until it is released for sale, and it's going to be released for sale a little bit later in August, right around the 21st. It goes every 90 days. So we're excited about that. I hope everybody's enjoying their summer. I just got back from vacation. If I sound a little raspy, I've got a post-vacation cold, not COVID, but a cold. And hi, Peggy Bell from North Carolina. If you're tuning in, tell me where you're coming in from. And if you're watching me on Facebook or YouTube, it shows up here. I'll just show you like this. I can do this with this program where it'll show there's Peggy and her name like that. I can bring up comments. And we're on Facebook and YouTube simultaneously. I have pinned a few links up in the comments. Just go ahead and scroll up if you need to see them. But there are links on for Facebook users to give us StreamYard permission to see your name when commenting. And then also I've got a link to join our waitlist for our subscription box if you're not on that list already. And then a link to see our, excuse me, to see our events that are coming up in October is when they're going to start. But people like to know about our shows early, so I'm going to talk about that first because it is 7:02 and we've got a few people on with us. If you're here, say hi. Give me a wave in the comment. I always like to see where people are coming in from. And I hope you're getting a start to your weekend. And if you're traveling, travel safe. I just got back from vacation. We did a cruise to Alaska, which was a big bucket list item for my husband and I. And we went with one of my sisters and her husband. And we took off out of Vancouver, sailed up the Inside Passage, stopped at 3 different cities, went through Glacier Bay, had another few days at sea, got off the boat, took a bus to Denali, and then a train from Denali back to Anchorage and a plane. So we did planes, trains, automobiles, buses, and boats, all in the same trip. So we felt like we covered all modes of transportation other than horse and buggy. We even rode a tram a couple of times. So we really had a lot of fun. If you can ever swing a cruise or a trip like that, Alaska is amazing. I had no idea how big, how beautiful, how just everything it was. We saw rain, we saw sun, we saw moose, we saw whales, we saw everything. So that was really fun. But let's talk a little bit first about what we've got coming up for our shows. My first show starts the first weekend in October. I think it's October 7th. It's a Saturday, Sunday show. It's in East Grand Forks, Minnesota. They have a big craft fair over there every year, usually the first weekend in October. This year it happens to be a little later than normal. It's 7th and 8th or 6th and 7th. It's a Saturday and a Sunday. And that's when it starts. And then I click right over to the very next following weekend. We're down in Fargo for the big one. And then we have a couple of weeks off. And then the first weekend in November, we are back here in my hometown of Grand Forks at the Alaris Center for the Great Big Pride of Dakota show, which is, that was our biggest show last year. and that one is huge. And then we hop down to Fargo the weekend before Thanksgiving to the Pride of Dakota show in Fargo. That one is at the Shields Arena. The other one we do in Fargo is at the Fargo Dome. Um, and then our last show for the fall and holiday season is in Bismarck. And that one is at the Bismarck Event Center, which is attached to the big basketball arena and everything. It's right across from the mall. And that's a big show too. Those three last ones are our biggest usually. So I just wanted to kind of get that out there. And if you need to see it, you can go to thespeckedloon.com/events. But if you're on Facebook, just go over to our Speckled Loon Facebook group and you will see all the events under the events tab there. And you can RSVP and then you will get notifications when I post updates about them, when I let you know what my booth number is, times. I'll be updating them all shortly before the shows. So I just kind of wanted to get that out there. I know it's too early for some people to be thinking about fall, but it is so darn hot that it's kind of nice to talk about fall too. We've been in North Dakota, it's been in the 90s a lot, which is hot for us. I know it's nothing compared to what they're going on down in Arizona, but for us it's a little warm. So anyway, I wanted to just kind of let you all know about that. And I'm going to talk about a few things I've been working on for the shows. Now, this past year, I started offering in my booth lots of different things. And I like to pride ourselves in our booth that we've got a lot of selections, $30 and under, even some things $10 and under. So you can come in our booth and find lots of fun gifts to give for friends, those mystery gift swaps that you need to do, that type of thing. We had a couple spring shows this year, and our keychains are really popular. I'm going to hold this one up, and hopefully it focuses in for you. This one says off to the casino, and it's got a little tag here with a slot machine and a little heart and a little tassel. I'm going to have a few of those. I also have ones that say off to the lake, off to the campsite. And I did a new one last night. I don't have it mocked up or worked up yet, but it says off to cheer, and it's got a little cheer bow and a megaphone. Super cute. For those cheer moms out there, that's fun. And these are in our booth for only like $8. And they're just kind of fun to pick up, to just stick in the stockings, put them in with a gift card, whatever. They're a fun little extra thing that you do. Another thing that's super popular in our booth, we don't even sell them on our website because they're breakable. I don't like selling breakable things that need to be shipped. But our mason tissue jars. These I paint with a special spray paint that's matte, and then I do a finish on them, and then I put decals, and I have probably 8-10 different sayings on them. This one says, spread kindness, not germs. I've got other ones that just say bless you, other ones that say nobody likes a little snot. Just kind of fun little gift to give, and it pops up the Kleenex right out of there. And on the bottom, I have the type of Kleenex that you need to buy at Target to do a refill on it. And they're in several colors. This just happens to be a gray one. They have a cute little gray cord or a coordinating cord. I have them in shades of blue, some black, some white. I got a new really pretty khaki green that I'm going to be showing off at the fall shows. So I'm excited about that. And what I do is the keychains, this type of stuff, I work on those and get those done early so they just last me. And I know how many to make approximately, so I make enough to last me through all my shows. And that way I don't have to do them again, because with spray painting, I can't spray paint inside, obviously, so I have to do it outside. So in North Dakota, there's about 10 days a year where it's not too hot, it's not too cold, and it's not too buggy to spray paint. So I got most of them done. I have another 4 dozen I have to get done here before the end of summer. Hopefully the 90 days or the 90 degrees will subside a little bit, and I can get up super early some morning and knock those last 4 dozen out. But these are our quart jar cuties, or I like to call them, mason jar tissue holders. They're super popular. People love them. Last year I had made just enough and it came home with a dozen, and a gal bought my last dozen after my last show. So these are super fun. I'll have all kinds of designs and colors for you. Our other big seller in our booth, and these are kind of unique to the speckled loon, is our double-sided signs. So this is one that look at how thick and nice those are. They're just super sturdy and heavy. And this is our double-sided sign that was the best seller last fall. It says Farm Fresh Pumpkins on one side, and then it says Farm Fresh Christmas Trees on other. And you can see there's a dimension to them. It's all 3D. It's cutouts that I put on there. And this is my project that I do with my husband. We'll be getting really busy with these pretty soon. But basically, we cut all the boards and frame them all ahead of time. Then I just have a bunch of blanks. This is unfinished wood, and this is stained. And excuse me, I'm going to take a drink of water because I'm a little dry in the throat. But anyway, then I have a bunch of blanks, and then as before each show, I'll make up a bunch because sometimes more of these will sell than others, or I've got one with the nativity scene that's popular, etc. So I know how many to make. Comment below if you like this one. These are super popular. I'll probably have 5 or 6 different designs for you to pick from. I'll even bring the ones that I had left over from my spring shows because those are kind of fun if you want them for your lake home or something. So those are our double-sided signs, and they sell for $30 in the booth. Now, I was telling you before, we have a lot of items that are like $10 items. Some of these are our socks. These are really popular. Now we have men's and women's socks, and the women's probably have 8 or 10 different sayings. The men's probably have 5 or 6. And I order these up and get these done way ahead of time too. So I pretty much have them all done before. I'll probably have one more batch that I need to do before the shows. But since my first 2 shows, excuse me, are back to back, I'm in heavy production mode right now so I can get everything done. Another one here, this is really popular. If it requires a bra and pants, it's not happening today. These are super popular in our booth. We sell them, the men's and the women's. Even though the men's are bigger, we sell them for $10 a pair in the booth. And when you come to our booth, you also can sign up for a door prize that will get you some coupons. And if you spend $40 in the booth, you get another $5 off. So that's at every show. So those are our novelty socks, we call them. Another popular thing we do is I always do a memorial ornament every year, usually with like a cardinal or something, because a cardinal means a visitor from heaven, and the cardinals are really pretty against white snow. And so 2 years ago, we introduced this one. It's got the cardinal on it, and it says, "You left me beautiful memories. Your love is still my guide. And though I cannot see you, you're always by my side." And it's got a little red poinsettia and a red cardinal in it. That was the first one we did. We introduced that one in 2021. In 2022, we introduced this one. And that's got a red cardinal with a heart. And that says, "I'm always with you." And both of them have a bead with this ribbon. And that is supposed to kind of look like an angel. And the new one that I've got says, "I'm always with you," but it's in the shape of a heart, and it's got a little bit of a bigger cardinal on it. And then we're also doing one with the red chair poem on it. So those are really popular, and they're fun, and I'm making those up. I just cut a bunch here today, and I'm going to be cutting more tomorrow, so I'll have those all done ahead of time. The other fun thing that we always have in our booth is lots and lots of mini decor. I'm going to show you the 2 best-selling little individual signs that we had last year. But in addition to these signs, we have tons of garlands and other fun little things that you can display. And the nice thing about these, I don't have one out right now, but they all come with a little stand, so they stand. But this was our best-selling little mini decor sign last year, this little gnome here. And he says, "Ho, ho, ho." And he's got a little snowflake on his hat, and you can see the nice dimension on these. And he was our best seller. And close second was this one. Gnomes are a big seller in my booth. Is this Merry Christmas Gnome Trio. They're kind of like in the back of a truck. And I'm making more of those. I'm making more of our best sellers from last year, but I'm also introducing new designs too. So it's not the same thing every year in my booth, but a lot of times people will come, oh, I had this sign, so-and-so saw it, they really want it. Do you have more of them? And I always try to repeat my best sellers for a couple of years, and then we freshen it up. But these two were our two best sellers of the mini signs. So new things I'm working on. I do have a few fall things, although Christmas outsells fall about 99 to 1 in my booth, but I do have some really fun fall items that I'm going to have. I've got a little line of box signs I made, and each one's got a different gnome in it, like for fall/Halloween. So this is like cute little box sign you can see, and it's got a bow on it, and it stands up by itself. It does not need a stand. And I've got 5 or 6 different little designs for fall. So this is a pumpkin, and he's holding a little kitty cat there. My camera's flipped around. So the next one is him. He's a little candy corn. Isn't he cute? And he's got a bow as well. And we've got this little witchy poo, and she's holding a broom and a little green frog. Let me know what you think of these. The next is a little ghost. And then this one is super cute. He's Frankenstein. And they're in this purple little wood frame and have these cute little bows. And here is a little mummy. I think he's so cute. I like them. And he is holding some candy. So those are our Halloween decor that I will have for sale in the booth, because I do have two shows before Halloween. So I like to have a few fallish things. But like I said, for some reason, in our part of the country anyway, the shows, I don't care when they start, September or whatever, people just want to buy Christmas things. So I have a lot of Christmas things in my booth, and some every day too, and then some fall. So I've got for winter/Christmas, I did a group of gnomes too. Here's a little Santa gnome. He is holding a list. Here's a reindeer gnome. You could paint his nose red and he could be Rudolph. Again, with the little bow. Here's a little elf gnome holding a little bulb. Another elf holding a present. And like a Mrs. Claus elf or gnome. So I think they would be super cute as a set together, Mr. and Mrs. Claus. Aren't they cute? I think they're really cute. These were fun to make, and if they sell, I'll obviously make more. What I do is I make a couple of everything, and as soon as things sell out, then I know they're going to sell at other shows, and I go, I make them. So I kind of look at you guys for your trends. So let me know what you think of these. I think they're super fun. I think they'll do well. And they're probably going to be about a $13 item in my booth, so you could stock up or get the whole set or whatever. I also did last year in the shadow boxes different Christmas trees with different patterns on them. I'll be bringing those back as well, because I made a bunch and all but one of them sold. So those are some of the things that we have got going on for our fall shows. And like I said, I put a link in there to the Facebook events page. And also you can go to thespeckedloon.com/events to see all my shows. And you can RSVP on Facebook to get reminders. If you go on my website on the event page, you can do add to calendar, I believe, and it will add to your calendar. So Let me know what you think of those. I'm super excited about all our shows. My sister Janet's on here and she does the shows with me. She is the one, and I didn't bring one with me, but she sews the pillows that we sell and then I decorate. So, and then she comes and helps me at all the shows. So we're looking forward to seeing you in East Grand Forks and Fargo in October. East Grand Forks, we're at the Civic Center. Fargo, we're at the Fargo Dome. That is the first 2 weekends in October. And then we're back in Grand Forks, our hometown, the first weekend in November. And then the weekend before Thanksgiving, we're back in Fargo at Shields Arena. And the weekend after Thanksgiving, we are in Bismarck, the very first weekend in December at the Bismarck Event Center. So those are our 5 big shows that we always do. We don't do little one-day shows anymore. Our setup has gotten so big that all we do is big 2 and 3 day shows. And that's the same with our spring shows, the big ones where we can set up, take our time the day before. It's in a secure environment, and then we can leave everything locked up and then come back the next day and do our shows. So that's what we've got going on for our shows coming on. If you want to support Pride of Dakota artists and you do live in North Dakota, this week is Pride of Dakota week at the North Dakota State Fair. And a lot of my Pride of Dakota friends have booths there at the State Fair. You could go patronize them if you're itching for a craft fair and to see some good local goods. The State Fair is in Minot, North Dakota this week. And there's a couple more days left, and there's a whole setup of Pride of Dakota people there. So that is what I'm going to wrap up about our shows. And the next thing I'm going to talk about is our fall box and the bonuses that I'm going to be giving in that box. I am going to switch the camera from this angle to an overhead angle so you can see what I do with my hands here in a minute, and you can get a good look at the smaller items I'm going to show you. But the bonuses that we're doing this month or this quarter, and the box will go out in right around August 21st. It's going to go live. I've got actually 4 different bonuses, 3 kind of small, and then 1 kind of a surprise extra thing that came into my lap, and we'll talk about. But the first item we'll talk about, and I'll demonstrate this in a minute. This is not a goalpost, and it is not a tuning fork. This is a bow making jig to make perfect bows every time, and we need to make some bows in the fall box, and you want a nice consistent product. This is what we're going to use. In fact, I use this to make all the perfect little bows on these signs. And when I tell you I'm crafty, but one of my crafting kryptonite is I don't sew and I struggle to make a good bow. That is the 100% truth. Now this one is done with wired ribbon, okay, using that jig. And then these little Christmas ones is done, and this is what I'm going to demonstrate, is just done with that little thin red checked ribbon. And that is what I'm going to talk about and show you with this. And then the other side here that's smaller, you can make super mini bows, or you can use this to make pom-poms, which is kind of fun. You just wrap the yarn around it, tie it in the middle, and then trim it, and then you've got a perfect little like 1-inch pom-pom. Or if you use it, it makes a 1 1/4 inch bow, and the top one here makes a 2 1/4 inch bow. So this is one of the bonuses, and I'm going to show you how that works in just a minute. The other bonus that we'll talk about is 2 things. You're going to get a sheet of sandpaper in there because we're going to be doing some distressing in this kit, and sandpaper is a must for that. So I put in half a sheet of 220 grit sandpaper in there for you. If you need more, you can just go get more at your hardware store, but I get you started with a half sheet. And then this special brush that you're going to get, I teach a bunch of blending techniques in the tutorial for the fall kit. And so this is the brush that I use for the blending. And so I gave everybody one in their kit as well. So those are 3 of the bonuses. And the 4th bonus is I got a big box of paint here, different colors, paint and craft supplies. This whole box came in the mail, and see how that's so full there. I applied when I knew I was going to be doing a subscription box. I applied to some of my favorite brands to see if they wanted to work with me to help me get products or promote their products within my subscription box. And one of the first ones that I reached out to and got back to me was the paint that I love. I really enjoy using the Plaid brand of paints. Now they have Plaid brand is like they make the Waverly chalk paint that you can buy at Walmart that I use all the time. They make folk art home decor chalk paint, which is an excellent paint. They have the apple barrel paints in Walmart. They have folk art little acrylic paints, and they also make Mod Podge. So they're a huge company, but they have an ambassador program. And I thought, well, I'll apply and we'll see what happens. And lo and behold, they said, yes, we will give you some products to promote in your box. We don't have any discounts or do any discount codes like that. And we don't really have an affiliate program, but we have this ambassador program. You're welcome to promote your products, and then we'll give you some to give to your subscribers. And so I've got enough things in this box to send every subscriber that is going to get these boxes at least one thing and maybe two. So that's really exciting. And I am going to share some of the things that you might see. And what I'm going to do is, as I'm packing somebody's box, I'm just going to reach in the mystery box, pull something out, and I'm going to put it in there with a little note that says, this is your special gift from Plaid Paints. So I'm going to just show you quick some of the things that are in there. Not all of them, because there's like 50 things in there. But they sent some really nice items that I thought, wow, my subscribers are really going to like them. They're really going to luck out. And I don't need all this paint because I've got plenty of my own. And I thought, well, I'm going to share. So there's probably a couple $100 worth of products in here at least. And I think it's really neat. So one of the things they sent was some matte Mod Podge. Let me just do that. So a big pot, a 4-ounce bottle of that. This is gloss Mod Podge that they sent. They sent a big thing of outdoor Mod Podge. So if you have a sign that you make and you want it to be outdoor safe, you would coat it with this after it's all done. That's probably like a $10 thing right there. I think that's really neat. Then they sent another thing of satin Mod Podge. And Mod Podge is really great for sealing your projects. And the last thing of Mod Podge was this hard coat Mod Podge, which if you need a really durable, it's almost like a resin finish, that's what this is. So they sent all that Mod Podge. Then they sent a couple of really nice brush kits. So somebody's going to get this nice brush kit. Look at that. With those 3 brushes, that's just really good quality brushes that you would rinse out and reuse. And then they've got these for painting on glass, a whole set. And I looked this up. It's a $15 set of brushes. And they are angled, and they've got some fine tip ones. It says they're for glass, but you could really use them on any surface. And then the other tool that they sent was this 2-in-1 brayer. And this is like if you like to Mod Podge like tissue or cardstock on items, this gets the air bubbles out. And so that's really neat. So somebody's going to be lucky enough to get that. And then they sent all these different bottles of paint, like this multi-surface paint. That means you can do it on glass. So if you wanted to paint a jar, like that jar back there, or paint a design on a wine glass or something, they sent this pretty green, this pretty blue. I use a color like this blue in the fall box. So somebody gets that, that'll work right with their fall box. But they've got all these other colors that they sent, a red, a couple of yellows, and all these different colors of paint. So my subscribers, of which are all going to get at least one thing in their box. It just depends on how packed their box is and what I can fit in there. And if they're local, they're going to get something probably a little that come and pick up for me, they'll probably get something a little bulkier. And then the ones that I mail will probably get like a couple of things of paint because that's going to fit in their box. So that is the other part of the mystery box. So there's 4 things. You're going to get a gift from Plaid. You're going to get that fun little bow maker I'm going to work with. You're going to get a blending brush, and you'll get the sandpaper all in the box this month. So I am going to switch the camera to an overhead view here real quick, and I'm going to show you how the bow maker works a couple of times so you can kind of get the gist of it. I really like it. I'm going to be carrying and making a line of crafting tools that you can buy anytime on my website. But what I'm doing is I'm sending them out in advance before I put them for sale to my subscribers, and I'm having them test them for me and as their free bonus gifts so they can give me feedback if they work, don't work, and what I need to improve. And then the final result will be on my website, because this little handy dandy little bow maker I'm going to have in a couple different sizes, so you can make bigger bows and smaller bows. And then there's a couple other things in there. I'm not going to talk about them yet, but they're going to get those in future boxes as well. They're going to get one in their winter box. That's another kind of a crafting tool. So we're going to talk about that in the future. But now I'm just going to rearrange a couple things on my desk so I can switch you to an overhead shot. Get rid of my keyboard, move my mouse so there isn't 5,000 cords here. And if you're tuned in, I've got about 10 people tuned in. Can just say hi, tell me where you're from, tell me what you think of what you've seen so far. I love to see feedback and give, interact. So I'm going to just move. This is a little overhead holder for my camera. You've probably seen something like these online before, but I put the camera, take it off my laptop here, and I put it on here so you can see what I'm doing. And if you've ever watched one of my videos online, you will recognize that I do overhead shots a lot. So hold on as you go for a little ride here. Move it so we're overhead. That seems to be good. So there we go. And I'm going to just fix the angle here a little bit. Make sure we're straight on. That's so we're not so dizzy. There, that looks pretty good. So what we've got here is this is, oh, I'll put it down here. This is the bow making and pom-pom jig. And it says it right on there, and it says thespecklaloon.com. And on the other side, it says this is for 2.5-inch bows. This is for 1.5 inch or 2 1/4 inch bows, and one of the YouTube address. I'm eventually going to have a video that is going to have instructions on how to use this and all the tools that I'm going to be selling on my website. And there's, of course, in the video for next quarter's kit that will be out in August, there is instructions on that as well. So, but today we're not going to make any pom-poms or tiny bows. We're going to make bows using the bigger part because that's easier to show. So all you need to do is you need about 12 inches of ribbon. So this is a little bit more than 12 inches. See, this is shorter. When it's this skinny little ribbon here, you only need about 12 inches of this ribbon. Okay. And this is ribbon. I got this at Michael's. It's that Celebrate It brand. I don't know if that's still their brand, but I got a roll of this on clearance. It says $2.99, but I got these for 75 cents a piece after Christmas when they were on clearance. I always go there because the red and black I can use year-round on projects. It isn't necessarily Christmassy, but so this is a non-wired, just I guess a gross grain ribbon or grosgrain ribbon, and it's about 1 foot long. So to start with the jig, all you do is I'm going to hold it so there's just a little bit of a tail right here at the end, and I'm going to hold that with my thumb. This is my right hand here. Okay, then I am going to take the excess of the ribbon I'm going to wrap it around the jig. So it looks like this. Okay. That and that. So this is the front, this is the back. Now I am going to come around, continue to hold it with my thumb, and I'm going to put it through this bottom opening here. I'm going to pull it upward. This is going to be the front of the ribbon. This is going to be the back of the bow that you're making. All right. So you'll see I'm still holding this with my thumb. And we are going to, there's a loop here, kind of a loop that it makes. So we're going to pull this up and around the front and back through the bottom part of that loop. Whoops. Hold on. There we go. Now I'm going to pull that so that knot is in the middle. The lighting isn't the greatest here, but and I'm going to just turn this over and maneuver this a little bit, but you can already see we've got a really nice little bow here without any effort whatsoever. We just wrapped it around and looped it through. And so I'm going to just set this down and pull this super tight and make sure that my knot is in the middle. Okay. And then once you have your bow how you like it, super tight, you just slip it off the jig and you have a perfect bow. Now, what I like to do is if I'm going to glue this bow on something, I like to cut these so they're even. And so I'll just line them up and I'll just cut it at a slant like that. And then you have them with their little angled ends. Okay. Also, if you're going to glue it onto something, you can cut these right on the back and just to almost nothing, and then just do a dab of glue and then glue it on. So this is the bow making jig that you are going to get as one of your bonuses in the fall kit. So, and if you're unfamiliar with our DIY decor kits or want to know more about them, you can join our waitlist at thespeckledloon.com/waitlist, and I have it in the comments. And that will get you on the list to be one of the first ones to get. We have 4 more spots opening up in August, and then that will get you a chance to get and buy one of those 4 spots. And then every 90 days, you will get a new kit. So I'm going to just take this and we're going to put it back on here so I can see your faces and you can see mine, or you can see my face. I guess I can't see yours. All right, I think that's good height. We'll move this out of the way. So if you get on the list, then you will get these bonuses along with, you're going to have 4 base pieces and then 3 different sets of interchangeable decor. We had a really fun summer kit that we released in May, and you can go back on our feed and look at that and kind of get the gist of what's going to happen for fall. So our summer piece had a cute little market cart, had an interchangeable sign that came in and out, and an interchangeable garland. We have something similar like that going on with the fall kit, but like I said, it's a surprise. I release it to the wait list first. I think it's to be August 20th or August 21st. So make sure that you're on that because we do an exclusive preview on our members page for that. And that way you get a chance to get one of the 4 openings. And then everybody, all the new members get the 4 bonuses, and all the existing members that bought in May get these bonuses too. So that's how the bonuses work, is every month or every quarter, excuse me, when we put out a box, I do some kind of a fun bonus. Now, sometimes it's going to be a project, like an extra cool project that you get to do. And a lot of times it's a crafting tool or tools that you can use in your kit. So for instance, on the summer kit, the crafting tool was a set of black and white paint markers and then craft tweezers. And you use the tweezers for the little parts, and then the black and white paint markers, we use them on a bunch of projects in that kit. to do tiny little details and color in projects. So every quarter, you're going to have something fun like that. I'm working on the stuff actually for the winter box. Right now, all the fall boxes are right behind me. They're all cut. They're ready to go. They come in these really cool black boxes. Although the color of the boxes may change from time to time, but here, I'm going to cover that up because that shows the projects. But you're going to have this fun box that comes to your doorstep that says the leaves are falling and your craft room is calling. And then you get says your fall 2023 DIY decor quarterly box is here. So in the box, everything in there is unpainted and it's all individually packed and labeled. And I know Peggy's on here. She's one of our members. She could chime in and say how much she likes it, but she's super excited about the new box, I know, and as are others. And it's so fun to see what everybody does. We have a private Facebook group where we share our projects. If you're on Facebook, if you're not, that's fine. We do stuff on YouTube, exclusive trainings, and then we also have a video for everyone. So on the Speckled Loon YouTube page, you just go to YouTube and search the Speckled Loon and you'll see it. We pop up. For every DIY decor kit, I have got a tutorial. So, and then you get some printed instructions as well. You get a little barcode that's going to tell you how to get to the YouTube video. I'm going to cover that up, a barcode with a playlist. You get a fun little extra thing in a thank you. You get your instructions, and then all these are the projects that are in there. And it is jammy packed full of projects. It's so fun. Like I said, I think there's 25 projects in this one. There was 24, 25 in the last one, but they're tiny. They're not intimidating, and the step-by-step process makes it very easy. So again, if you're interested in learning more about this kit, it's at thespeckledloon.com/waitlist. And then you are going to get first sneak peek at it and access to it when I release it for more members to come in on or about August 20th. So that is all I had for you tonight. I hope you're enjoying your summer. You're getting in some vacation. I've seen back to school ads already, and I'm like, oh, for heaven's sakes. You know, we want to hold on to summer, and here I am talking about fall and Christmas, but I just kind of wanted to hop on. We hadn't talked in a couple months and see how everybody's doing and catch up and let you know what's going on with the Speckled Loon. So I'm going to be popping on more and more often to talk about the kit as it comes. Next week, I won't be on live at all. I do this down in our guest room because I have the Ethernet connection down here, and it's nice and quiet, but I have one of my sons coming home. He lives in Colorado, and he's coming home next week, so he'll be occupying this room, and I don't really think he wants his mom in here talking about crafts while he's home visiting. So next week I won't be going on live, but the week after that, we'll start talking about the kit a little bit more, and I'll come on live. So in the meantime, I hope, again, you enjoy the last couple of days of July, and we'll talk to you again in the middle of August. You guys have a great week and a great night. Goodbye.